All right, people, this is Jonathan with the Streets Over Stream podcast coming to you live right now from the studios of 99.7 The Heat Miami, officially on iHeartRadio. Make sure you download the iHeartRadio app and type in 99.7 The Heat, DA space HEAT Miami. Tap in with us. We're on every iHeartRadio device, the app, the TV. You can stream us on Apple Music. Just type in 99.7 The Heat. We're also on TuneIn as well, and we're on Online Radio Box. So tap in with us. Just Google 99.7 The Heat Miami. 99.7 space The Heat, DA space HEAT. Tap in with us the whole way. We with it. Streets Over Stream. This was a dope concept that we came up with because we wanted to put the emphasis back on artists really like building a brand from the ground up in their local city. So it was important for us to be able to connect with an artist and teach them how to network, how to build in their city, how to have face-to-face conversations. So from there, we turned into a podcast because we wanted to speak to artists that were changing the game, leaving positive footprints, really out there hustling, getting out the mud, no cap, and not just depending on streams. You know, I just put up a post yesterday where artist Devin Mill raised $1,000 in 45 days. That's equivalent to over 350,000 streams on Spotify. So you get the point. So it's real with it. I'm speaking to a guy that we've been working with now for about 2 weeks, but man, about a week and a half, ever since we've been talking, man, I love his energy. I love his attitude. I love the fact that he's so passionate about what he does. Boasting over 20,000 followers on IG. This dude been hustling in the Spanish sector, the Latino sector. He has a multi-diverse sound. I'm honored, super honored to be speaking to my brother, Dresto. What's good?
What's good, brother?
Man, welcome to the podcast, my guy.
I appreciate you for having me right here, man. It's a pleasure.
Listen, you know I had to give you that Diddy intro, man.
You know, it's Dresto coming to you live from LA.
No doubt about it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
Listen, I'm going to tap right into it as far as everything. When you think about when you think about your career and you think about what you've invested into it so far, why are you so committed to pursuing this whole artistry thing with the music? What's really fueling you to say, man, I want to invest this money, this time, I don't want a regular job. What's fueling you to do this, man? Because this business is grimy and it's risky and there's literally no guarantees.
Yeah, that's you're right about that. And to answer your question, I just love the music. I just love the expression of it. And I've been doing it for a long time, since I was a little kid.
No doubt. I want you to delve a little bit more into that, if you could, regarding loving the music. What about the music that propels you like that?
Well, I've always been an individual who's a bit misunderstood. I always had hard time making friends and whatnot, and I've always found that music was an engine for me to express myself and really tell people how I really feel.
Mm-hmm. When you think about, what you just said, and then you tie it into the sacrifices, talk about some of the sacrifices you've made to make this music thing, a reality for you.
Well, I quit one of my jobs when I was living in El Paso. It was a gas station. I moved from there to Las Vegas, and I ended up like getting some shows over there, but unfortunately, I ended up being homeless over there for like a year and a half. And I just started saving money like during that situation because I had to stay because I didn't have no place to stay since I was homeless. So I had to stay in the shelter, and that motivated me to like work harder to where I was going to.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the homelessness for a minute. When you were homeless, explain what your mind was like, you as far as your mentality.
When I was homeless, it was a learning process. I saw a lot of things that I don't think a lot of people would see in their normal life. But my mentality in that situation was I was sad in that situation. I regretted a lot of stuff that I did because I sometimes I trusted a lot of people, and that really got me to that situation, which I had to work on that, like not to trust a lot of people quick. And but a good thing about it, ironically, I met a lot of good people in the homeless shelter that really taught me a lot of stuff. Like, for instance, I met this one dude that I remember I showed him my first song, and he liked it, and he always told me, you should keep going. This is good music.
When you think about, like, you say you trust a lot, right?
Yeah.
So when you think about like trusting, what propels you to trust so much? Is it more so you?
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I'm an individual who I don't judge people quick. Like, I give people a chance, you know, because it takes a lot of energy not to trust someone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It does.
so I just trusted a lot of people, but now I reevaluate the people and set up certain requirements for that, you know.
Talk about your upbringing. Regarding your upbringing, because I mean, to back up from the homeless part, but talk about your upbringing. Like, what was it like you growing up? Like, who did you grow up with? Kind of give us a snapshot into that.
Yeah, growing up, I was like, my family was never stable. We were always moving around, different house. I was in every year. I was in a different school, so I always to make different friends. Yeah, there was always domestic violence in my house, alcoholism. It was hard, and the fact that my mom was she was a single mother, so she could barely afford like the rent at times. And I remember one time that how old was I? I think I was 10. Yeah, I was 10, and my dad had just got deported back to Mexico because he was illegally in America, and my mom she got evicted, and we ended up going to the shelter when I was 10. So I can honestly say that, like, home, like, this wasn't the first time me being homeless. I was like the second time.
Mm-hmm. What was something intriguing that your dad taught you?
My dad he was rarely in the picture, but one thing he really taught me was I learned stuff just by looking at him, and just not to be like him because he was an alcoholic. But one thing he did tell me was that I always strive for the best and I always work hard. I would rarely see my dad. Like, honestly, like the last time I saw my dad, like, was like 10 years ago. Haven't heard from him since.
Regarding your mother, talk about the relationship with that.
Oh man, I'm pretty close. I honestly, I was just in the car with my mother. I'm really close with my mom. I tell everything to my mother. She's like she's my best friend. And whenever I have a problem, whenever I have an issue, anything regarding music, anything, I that's the first person I go to, and she gives me like the best advice, everything. And she's always been there. Like I remember one time when I would always get in trouble in school. She would always be there, regardless the type of problem that I will run into. And she would always like say that I'm innocent and all this, and she would always support me. She would always be on my side, no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about you. Let's go back a little bit. When was the flashpoint moment where you said, I'm doing this music thing?
The flashpoint, it had to be when I was in a wheelchair, and it happened when I was 9. Because when I was 8, I got ran over by a car, and I ended up being in a wheelchair for like a year. Yeah, so yeah, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't play basketball. I would just watch TV and read books. And I was watching. I think it was like back then when they have the MTV music videos. And I remember it was, what song was it? I think it was "Make It Rain," but yeah, I was "Make It Rain" by Lil Wayne. After that music video, that inspired me to like write some music. So after that, I said, you know what, music, it's what I want to do for the rest of my life, and that was it. Yeah.
Let's talk about your relationship with music. As far as how you feel about it, what does it do for you? How does it push you?
It pushes me during situations that feel horrible. So if I feel sad, if I feel mad, I always go towards music because that's like my therapy. That's like my medicine, my remedy. It heals me. It fuels me. It makes me feel better when I'm not.
How is it therapy for you?
Because it makes me express in ways that nothing can be expressed to. And it also music music is a power that I think that
Say again, bro.
hold on. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, because they were knocking at the door, my bad. Anyways, yeah, music to me is very therapeutic. It helps me feel better in every situation, and it's always there when nobody's there for me. And like I said, it helps me express myself in different ways that nobody would be able to understand when I'm not even writing music.
I want to tap into this part here. Explain your inspiration or how you get into your creative mode for your lyrics.
Whenever I start writing a song, I always focus on the melody first, and then from there, I go towards the hook. By having those two things, it makes it easier for me to write everything else. I always start with those two, and to me, like the verses, I put that last because that's, to me, writing the verses is easy, so that's last to me. Also depending the beat, it's and the feeling, that determines what I'm gonna write about. So if the beat is sad, I write a sad song. If the beat is like kind of like hype, upbeat party song,
You walk in the studio, you go in the booth, you put the headphones on, and the engineer says, go. Explain what kind of person you turn into.
I turn into fade Dresto, the person I am, and I turn into the person that I believe I am and that I'm actually am, and I turn into the most powerful person that I can possibly believe that I can be. That's who I am when I enter the booth and I spit my lyricism. That is who I am.
What is something about you that people say, you know what, I love that about Fade?
A lot of people love that I'm very passionate about my music, that I am I always have different concepts of writing music, that I never give up. What else? That I'm very versatile, that I'm very gentle with my music, and that I'm really creative when it comes to my music. A lot of people like that about me.
Talk about some of the things that how's your mental health, man?
Can you repeat that?
How is your mental health these days?
My mental health is, I can say it's good. I've never had problems lately, other than...
And not so much having problems, but just overall, just how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling absolutely healthy, eating well, really well.
Talk about your latest record. Talk about your latest collection of music. What's been the inspiration behind the music that you've been dropping lately?
Well, lately, if a lot of people don't know, like my latest record is Vacillating. And that specific record, I wrote it at a time where it was a relationship that went to shambles, and it was no good. So that inspired me to write this song. And a lot of people told me, why are you naming it Vacillating? A lot of people don't know what that even means. Vacillating, what is that? Vacillating means, and it's another way of saying that this person is indecisive. So she was always indecisive. She never knew what she wanted. She'll go to me, use me like a sponge, go to the next person, come back, and she'll just get what she wants. So that's what that song's about. Just a person, she being indecisive and just hurting me and doing all this bad stuff to me that I did not appreciate. And thank God that we fell off and we went our separate ways. My other record, Yamame, which is dropping on November 17th, it's actually my new my second Spanish song, and it's the opposite of this. It's the opposite of vacillating. So this song is about a girl wanting to be with this guy.
Let me ask you this. Heading into last question, heading into 2024, what are something, well, let me ask you this question before that. What are some things that you know you need to be doing to help your brand, but you're not doing?
One of the things I need to be doing is, one, doing more shows, marketing smarter. What else? Networking with the people who are legit, like basically being smart, who I talk to and who do I do business with. And being smart with my money, you know. Yeah.
What have you enjoyed the most about working with Radio Pusher so far, man?
What I like about Radio Pusher is that they're really versatile, and they give artists something that I don't think any marketer, radio station has. I've seen that. I don't know if they have, but I've never seen. But they give artists these platforms, these tools that I've never seen anybody give to artists. And that's like, for instance, like the streams over streams. That's huge. That's like different. That's like life changing. Sensational.
Yeah, man, we thank you for that, man. Spell out your Instagram handle so people can follow you on IG, man.
IG FADEDRESTO. That's actually in every platform. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok.
What have you enjoyed the most about being on this podcast today, man?
Well, I enjoy it because it gets me the opportunity to really express myself and answer questions so people can get to know me a little more and know about my journey. And that really is important to me because my fans and my future fans will definitely want to know what type of person I am and what I've been through. That way they can relay that to them and become part of my journey.
No doubt about it, man. Well, listen, one thing I'm gonna tell you I like about you, and I always remember this. I love your resiliency, man. So I thank you for being resilient. Thank you for believing in yourself, man. Thank you for betting on yourself. We built different, man. And listen, run the likes and views. Run up the people pre-saving your music now. You got that tool, bro.
Yes, sir. I got that going on. Me and my girl who are working on that song, we got that going on for sure. As a matter of fact, we're going to go live tomorrow on Instagram, so stay tuned to that.
And don't forget to go to dreamhustlewin.com, and click on the menu bar, and you'll see the tab that says Spotify Accelerator Protocol. Read the little call to action messages we created for you, just sample messages, all right?
What was it? The
dreamhustlewin.com.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I got it.
And then click the menu button, and you'll see a tab that says Spotify Accelerator Protocol, all right?
Oh, yeah, I see it. Okay. For sure.
That's it, man. Give out your Instagram handle one more time before you get out of here.
Follow me on Instagram, FADEDRESTO. Let's get it.
All right, man. Fade Dresto in the building, people. Let's get it. Peace. Okay, don't forget to hit that little red button where it says leave.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
All right, let's get it. 1.